From Studio A at the USC Annenberg School, I'm Laura Marola here with Isabella Meneses. Isabella, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So it's my understanding that you're a huge Dodger fan. When did you start rooting for them?
I was probably around 9 years old. I remember going to a Dodger game in the summer because there was like a Harry Potter giveaway, and I remember watching this magnificent game where the Dodgers came back, and Andre Ethier hit a home run, and it was Manny Ramirez in left field, and it was Manny Wood, and I was like, whoa, like, I want this team to win, which felt kind of weird to me.
You're a Dodgers fan, but your parents are not. They are from Northern California, which is where the Giants play. So I understand you have a bit of a rivalry in your household. Tell me about it.
Oh, yeah. So my dad, he loves baseball just as much as me. So for him, you know, you may not realize this, but the Giants and the Dodgers are the biggest rivalry in baseball behind the Yankees and the Red Sox. So we honestly hate each other's teams. So sometimes it's like my dad will say things about the Dodgers like, oh, I hate them, or they suck, or they choke. And I'm just sitting there like, well, that's my team, and I, like, hate his team, too. Like, I want them to lose, but, like, it's weird because, like, it makes my parents happy when they win. So, like, if I go to a game and look at them, you know, like, we travel a lot to go see the Giants, so we've been to Chicago, we went to Seattle, so we like to see them play in different stadiums, so it's like, do I root for the other team, or do I root for the Giants, because my parents and my sister are rooting for the Giants.
So tell me, the Giants and the Dodgers, they play each other. What is it like the morning you wake up knowing today's the day, they're playing each other, my house is divided? What is your family dynamic like on that day?
We just try to, like, to not talk about it. It's more about at the game. My mom has a little joke with me where the Dodgers are winning. She'll be like, oh, you have a little pip in your step, huh? They say I sometimes walk around the house a little bit more cheery if the Dodgers are winning and the Giants are losing.
So obviously someone has to come out of the game victorious. How does it feel if the Dodgers lose that game?
Oh, God, I hate it. Because I have to sit and, like, they'll be, like, not obnoxious about it, but they will definitely bring it up and be like, oh, well, like, my team sucks. But you guys we had a lucky day. Like, I think my dad and I do reverse psychology. So I always say, you know, the Dodgers, they're not going to win the World Series this year. Like, I don't expect anything out of them. Even though in my heart, I want them to win so bad. But, like, I tell my dad I don't care, so that, like, it doesn't seem like when they lose, he can't give me crap for it. He does the same thing. Oh, the Giants are going to be in last place, so it's not a big deal. But he's looking at the standings every day, hoping for something to happen.
So what is it like when your whole family, the Giants win, your whole family wins that day? What is it like for them? Do they like to take it out on you? Do they like to, you know, joke around with you about it?
Sometimes, I mean, it's different now because the Giants and the Dodgers are at different points in their team history. So a couple years ago when the Giants were winning the World Series, yeah, we used to probably go back and forth a lot. But now that, you know, the Dodgers are kind of known as a better team, we kind of don't. We just enjoy kind of going to the game.
Yeah.
It's kind of like our tradition. Because we live in LA, we unfortunately, for my parents, always have to go to Dodger Stadium. So they're stuck always having to be the away team, which I feel bad for because a lot of people will come up to me and say, why are you with the Giant fans? Like, they're my parents. And many people don't understand how I switched on my dad. It breaks his heart because my first baseball game ever was at AT&T Park. No, I'm sorry. It was at the San Francisco 49ers Candlestick Park before AT&T Park came. But, like, my dad took me to my first baseball game, and, like, he was so in love with the fact that I was there, and then I became his rival's fan.
So what is your favorite memory of going to a Giants-Dodgers game?
I mean, for me, honestly, there are games where the Dodgers won. But we've seen some pretty cool pitching duels. So my dad and I, because we're very big on stats, I'm a really big Clayton Kershaw fan, and he's a big Madison Bumgarner fan. So we've seen some pretty cool duels between them. And I think once we saw, like, Kershaw hit, like, 14, not hit, but he struck out, like, 14 batters, and Bumgarner struck out, like, 12. So, like, for me and my dad, that's, like, maybe a boring game to an average baseball fan, but we were like, whoa, like, that's mad respect.
Yeah.
Like, my mom, she once saw Grand Slam, and that was, like, one of her favorite moments. So, I mean, I guess it just really depends on, like, who wins, but to be honest, like, it's still fun, like.
Yeah. It seems like baseball's created a really special bond between you and your dad. Can you touch on that?
Yeah, so it's just something my dad and I have always bonded over. He's big on sports, and growing up, I became big on sports because of him. So, despite the fact that we're different teams, I kind of like acknowledge that he has a love for the Giants, and he can acknowledge that I have a love for the Dodgers. Like, we still have respect for each other at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my parents will, like, if I ask them, like, for my birthday, they'll buy me a Dodger shirt or a jersey. Like, they accept that, like, if they see something Dodgers, they'll give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll tell me, like, hey, are you going to go to
Yeah.
the game? Like, and I tell them the same thing. Like, I know my dad, he loves the Giants. His favorite player is Brandon Crawford. So I'll buy him a Crawford shirt. I'll buy him a Crawford bobblehead. Like, we still like to do what the other person likes. Like, just because I hate that team doesn't mean that I can't acknowledge the fact that my family loves them.
Understandable. So what do you think is extraordinary about what sports has done for your family dynamic?
I think it's really interesting. I think we have an interesting story to tell. I don't think a lot of people realize that we're these rivals. I think it shows that we're pretty loyal. Like, the Giants aren't going through a good patch in their career, but my parents are still super loyal, still want to see them all the time. They love it. I saw the Dodgers lose the World Series in person. They haven't won they've been in the postseason 7 years in a row, but they can't seem to win a World Series. But I still stick with them. I mean, I saw the Giants win 3-5, and as much as my parents kind of rubbed that in my face, they don't anymore. They kind of just accept that, like, this is my team, and it kind of makes us, like, more respective of others.
It's almost like your family became more unified through this division of baseball teams.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And so, last question. Baseball has done something extraordinary for your family, bringing you all together. What makes you extraordinary?
I think I'm pretty loyal. I think even just through this story and about my family, I have a respect for my family and their team, but I also love the Dodgers. It's just who I am. And they've put me through a lot of pain and misery. And I'm still going to stick with them because I've committed to them. I made a switch. I switched teams. I was a Giants fan. I went to a Dodgers fan at 9 years old. And here I am at 22 years old, still suffering every day.
Well, Isabella, thank you so much for joining us today. From Studio A at the USC Annenberg School, I'm Laura Marola.